Everyone, it's time to get your robe and wizard stuff out of the closet because we got a new Harry Potter game on the way. Also, should you give up on all of your dreams? All of them. Every last one. Throw it out the window. Stay tuned to find out if you should or not on this inspiring bowl of dude soup. Oh god, that fucking singer. Wizard Barry. Sounds better every week.
What is that background footage?
It's like a concert in the 50s of a bunch of youths being progressive.
Excellent, progressive youths.
Yeah.
You told me they were Holocaust survivors.
I did.
Coming home after the war.
I did that.
Huh.
Yes.
That makes more sense now.
You told me they were Holocaust victims.
I told you that too. Yeah, it's kind of. I'm trying to do a Dark Knight thing where every time somebody asks, I tell them a different answer. Is it working? Am I as cool as Chris Nolan yet?
Yes.
I'm creative. We'll have more talk about that in a minute. But first, I have to introduce my expert panelist of Harry Potter academics. First, there's Master of Potions, Adam Kovic.
I'm Gryffindor.
He is the Master of Notions, Alana Pierce.
I'm Slytherin.
And the Master of Emotions, Elise Willems.
Unfortunately, Hufflepuff.
Aww.
Not by choice, but I've never done the
By
test.
nature.
But I just assume.
Speaking of, isn't there like some kind of unsanctioned play that's getting slanted, like the Puffs is what it's called?
Puffs.
Yeah.
That seemed,
Jack loved it.
oh.
That was the only review I got.
It's in New York, right?
Sure. I don't know.
Aren't they shutting it
They'll
down?
come to your
It's
house.
I thought it
Yeah.
was getting shut down. And Jack
Whoop.
saw Cursed Child too, right?
Yes. He went to New York for Harry Potter.
What a blessed existence. This podcast is brought to you by three sponsors, Hinge, Mac Weldon, and, pointing to you, Adam, Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Booyah!
Hinge is the dating app that promotes healthy relationships of all kinds. It's a dating app for people looking for a healthy relationship with their partner. You can download Hinge in the App Store. You can get 20% off at macweldon.com using our promo code SOUP. And new players can get a free Venom Eddie Brock cover to add to your collection by going to d3go.com/dudesoup.
Doing that
New
right now.
players, Adam. You are not a new player.
Yeah, haven't you played like 7 days straight?
What? No, I'm on day 1005.
Cool.
So
I meant like 7 days in time. I don't know how many hours that is.
without sleeping. Got to beat Venom? No? What, do they have like an event going on right now?
Right now it's Guardians of the Galaxy,
Safe for the
but it's the anniversary going on right now. So
Oh, 5 years, right?
double ISO, something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of good. Cable's gonna be in the game. Taskmaster.
All the greats.
Stars.
Half decade of. All right, but Harry Potter is what we're talking about. Here, Omar, why don't you throw me up on the laptop there? What? So, I just realized, boy, they're doing takedowns on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
all
they
just like
absolutely
we're gonna
weird
get
now.
hit hard.
That's fine. It's like, it's all in the background. I'll wave in front of it. This will fuck up the content ID, no problem.
Yeah, dude,
So
no.
there's this guy. I'll just keep doing it.
I actually feel like that might work.
Yeah, I know. I'm a master YouTube. So there's this dude who basically posted this to Reddit. And this story is just a treasure. In addition to how enchanted and magical Harry Potter is, VapeThisBro, his username on Reddit, is just a champion, just a real hero.
Yeah.
So he posted this video to Reddit, and everyone was like, first of all, people accused it of being a fake. And then people like question where he got it from. The story's actually pretty great. So let me pull up some quotes from VapeThisBro. Quote, have you ever had a random guy approach you while you're walking around a mall? This guy walked up to me and was like, hey man, I'll give you $8 to watch this video game trailer while I fill out the survey for you. And I was like, do I need to go somewhere sketchy? He was like, nope, we had a nice office in the mall. So I took the $8. This is not my job. I work for a completely unrelated industry. What is happening? As the story goes, somebody was showing him this. It was like a market research team, just like going around asking people to take surveys in a mall. But the team was apparently just like corrupt as shit. So they would make people watch it, fill out the survey for them, give them their $8 and send them on their way. So since he wasn't being monitored, I guess he recorded it with his phone while he was watching it off of a different phone.
Wow.
So here's another quote. It's leaked as I went into a room for a focus group, took a sneak video and uploaded it. This isn't some marketing ploy. If you notice the bottom right corner of the video, it's censored because it has a serial number identifying me so WB can sue the ever-living shit out of me.
Brave.
Yeah, well,
But he didn't even fill out the survey, so he probably didn't sign an NDA. So
he got his $8.
They signed it,
Yeah.
not him.
Say that he left before they could get him to sign an NDA.
Yeah, so he's in
didn't
the
do anything
clear.
wrong.
They also, this dude is my hero. So So somebody challenged him. It's like, you faked this or whatever. And then he replies, do you think a random internet stoner would have the skills and patience to create this video? True. Somebody then replied, boy, you are so fucked. W is going to sue your clothes off for that leak. He replied, seriously, they can come at me. If they didn't want it to leak, they shouldn't have sent the video to companies all over the US to show people on the street. I mean, right now there are hundreds, if not thousands, who saw this before the leak. So his defense is buttoned up. It's tight as hell.
Case dismissed.
In addition to that, he also somehow leaked the copy that describes the game.
Yeah, because it was in the description of the video, right?
Yeah.
How did he do that?
That's
Did he get a
impressive.
photo of it or something?
Yeah, he might have taken a snap of it and transcribed it. I don't know, Elise, do you want to read this in your most magical, whimsical voice?
Sure.
Okay, let me scoot the laptop over to you and I'll make it bigger for your tiny eyes. Tiny, beautiful eye. All right.
Set in the 19th century. And then they have to put 1800s because
People don't know what that
people are
means.
Wizarding well, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character with unique abilities who has eared a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You are a newly arrived fifth-year student to Hogwarts that demonstrates a latent talent for magic with a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. Upon arrival, this is long.
Yeah.
Strange events begin to materialize in the dark, in the forbidden forest, and trouble begins to brew within the castle walls.
Now do Dobby.
Together with provision, I don't remember how Dobby sounds other than
I don't
pathetic.
really either.
In its offing, you embark on
that's
a
close.
journey through both familiar and never-before-seen locations to bring to light the truth behind these mysterious occurrences. On your quest, you will craft potions, master new spells, and discover fantastical beasts. You will battle dark withers, goblins, and other supernatural enemies, and uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the wizarding world lies in your hands.
You don't have to read
And
the
then you
features
can,
there,
you can journey to, whatever.
Dobby sounds like this.
Yeah.
Harry
Potter,
He
don't
gave me a
touch
sock.
Dobby below his cloth.
And Lucius kicks him off the stairs because he's a dick.
So it
movie.
was originally rumored to be done by Rocksteady.
Nah,
Yeah, people dunked on that.
No
And
way.
then it went to Avalanche,
Yeah.
of which there are two. So there's
Yeah.
the Avalanche that did Just
Softworks and
Cause,
Studios.
and then there's the one who did Disney Infinity, who has been really tight-lipped and had some very
Got
suspicious
shut
job
down and
listings
laid
a while
off,
ago.
and then opened back up under DC. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers, it makes sense that Avalanche Softworks, who had those suspect listings,
Yeah, so
could
this
be
is-
behind this.
Yeah, this is from Eurogamer. Job postings from early 2017 called for a staff with a, quote, deep understanding of British culture and grammatical presentation, with a good knowledge of, quote, gaming, narrative, and branching storytelling, particularly in the realm of RPGs. Their postings at the same time also described Avalanche's next project as an RPG, a, quote, large-scale console game project, and a AAA-sized title.
Sweet.
So, open world Harry Potter RPG set in the 1800s? That's pretty cool.
And none of that mentions it being online, right? I don't want it to be an MMO.
No.
It's probably going to be more of like a Shadow of Mordor
I hope
style
so.
thing, probably.
Nemesis system?
Maybe. With,
Chuck it in everything.
with goblins and orcs and all the things
Like
you want.
the spiders or something.
I would love to play through 7 years at Hogwarts. Like,
You only get 4
real time?
Because you arrive in your 5th year.
oh,
Yeah. I guess
That's
because they wanted
bogus.
an adolescent protagonist instead of a child.
What if you do
Yeah.
bad at homework and get held back? Are there any
yeah.
23-year-old wizards at Hogwarts?
Yeah. In the same
Some
class with
idiot who just
9-year-olds,
keeps failing.
Yeah. He's like, sup, bro?
smoking a cigarette.
Yo.
Buys
listen-
everyone alcohol.
Listen to Teach. Here for me. I know. I know.
That's sex. Yeah, that's cool.
it's too bad that you can't, because I imagine that like starting as a first year and doing the like boat ride to the castle would be super cool.
Oh yeah.
They could have like a maturity progression or something.
That would
where
be awesome.
You get to, you get special tinglings and stuff.
Start
Magical
snogging.
arousings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if
Yeah.
it's like a cross
Yeah.
between Bully and Shadow of Mordor.
Sure.
All right.
Sounds
would
cool.
be awesome.
Sign me up. It looks like the gameplay looks like Fable to me.
A bit.
The world looks kind of fable-y, so.
Yeah, there's something
with that
about
too.
like knobby British art that
Yeah.
kind of looks similar. What I thought that some of the destruction stuff is pretty cool. There's a part where they like blast out columns and then the roof falls
Yeah.
on all these creatures.
It looks very scripted though.
Yeah, it does. Well, it might have been just a demo or like a scripted demo.
Surprising it's taken them this long to do anything with the Harry Potter license that Warner Brothers they own, they have,
Well,
they license.
There was a whole rash of garbage games.
There were a lot of Harry Potter games.
There's just that mobile game.
yeah.
That was trash.
And then they had, that was really bad. Is that the Niantic one? No, that's still coming, isn't it?
Niantic?
Yeah, it is
That
still
was,
coming.
the first one was not Niantic.
Who did that one then?
I don't remember. That one was.
Dev.
Yeah, but I mean like a console, like a good. I don't know. I
There
was
was
reading a lot of
that legit Quidditch game.
On the GameCube and PS2.
America had a team.
That was great.
Hogwarts Mystery.
They're gonna have Quidditch in this game.
Any
That's gonna be
magazine
rad.
quest now available. I'm trying to. Let's see here. I'm looking up the mobile game to see who developed it. Because
I'm only wondering just.
Jam City Incorporated.
I remember somebody years ago, must have been a Reddit thread or something, but they said, how cool would it be if they made a Harry Potter game set in the 1800s or whenever the Black Plague took hold of the world?
Jesus, yeah.
And they said that would be the explanation for like dark wizards killing half of humanity. Was they're like, it's a plague. A plague's doing it, but it's actually evil.
Interesting.
They're all Slytherin.
That would be really...
But it was just funny because I remember people reading that and being, oh, that's fucking awesome. That sounds great. Years go by, you know, obviously no game is ever made, and then all of a sudden this pops up. You're like, that sounds pretty cool. So I don't know.
Jack the Ripper was Voldemort.
Sure. Wait, what? No, he wouldn't have been born yet.
No, he wouldn't have.
Voldemort's in the... I do like what they're... So I didn't know about that. That is going to be set in... What year was it?
1800s.
Just 1800s.
19th century,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Sure. I like that
I mean, when it
because
comes
it's-
to magic, it can pretty much be whenever.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of technology intersection in the Harry Potter universe.
No, I just mean it gets away from all the other characters.
Oh,
That's all.
yeah.
That's what
That's
I
true.
like.
So to me, that's kind of a detraction because I do enjoy the characters of this world.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be voiced by them anyway, I would imagine.
Well,
Sound alikes.
yeah, just
Yeah.
match them.
But I mean, I'm sure that even if it is set previous to all the events, they'll find some way to worm in references and stuff. right?
Absolutely.
Sirius
maybe-
Black, the first or whatever.
Yeah, they'll have like the Black family lineage, which
Yeah.
is so long.
It's also, I mean, that studio, Disney Infinity was really impressive. Like, didn't sell very well, didn't end up being profitable, but they made so many different games. Like, they had like kart races and platformers and like all of this different stuff that existed in that world. And I feel like the Harry Potter universe is pretty diverse. Like, if you're riding broomsticks or playing Quidditch or like going to Hogsmeade and playing pub games, whatever they have. Like, there's a lot of different stuff, and we know that that studio can make that different stuff. And I feel like they're a pretty good team to be doing it.
That's a good point. I actually never played Disney Infinity, so it's good to hear perspectives from
Not
somebody
many
that
people
has.
did. It was impressively made. And
I
designed.
played some just because Brandon Jones was a fanatic of Disney Infinity, like owned every single
Damn.
piece.
child's toy. Yes.
Yeah, Disney Infinity was an interesting case. I feel like a lot of people who really, really liked it, I don't know, I can't speak for Brandon Jones, but a lot of people who were like, oh, this game was so, so good. Why did it shut down? I'm like, well, I think you got the entire game and all the pieces for free. So I don't know anyone who actually paid full price for everything.
Well, you have to buy. It was the same thing as Skylanders. You have to buy little toys and put them on.
Yeah.
and-
Sure, but all of the elite journalists that I follow on Twitter who were pressing F over that game getting shut down probably didn't put any actual money into it.
Oh, they just got sent stuff. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sort of a skewed perspective. It was meant for children, not grown men. But
They had like a Smash Bros type mode that
Cool.
like grown men play Smash Bros. I just don't think they marketed each of the individual games within the game that well. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I visited that studio a week and a half before it shut down, and they had no idea.
Oh, geez.
Not a clue.
Yeah, the Disney X can fall pretty hard.
Yeah.
I've also I've heard that just like Disney has crazy high expectations of profitability out of everything they do.
Yeah, probably.
Something can make money, but if it's not making a shitload of money, Disney will still shut it down. Speaking of which, Club Penguin, shedding a final tear for that. What are we going to get banned from now?
Pools closed. Oh wait, no, that was Habba Hotel.
That's Habbo Hotel.
Sorry, different one.
Is Neopets still online?
I don't
I'm sure it is in
know.
some form.
The thing I was noticing with the Harry Potter leak
Hell yes, it is.
thing, I guess it was a leak. but-
2,500 free points. Sign up now. Neo points, sorry.
No, people are oddly nostalgic for Harry Potter right now. I think because it's, I don't know, when did Deathly Hallows Part 2 come out?
2010?
The movie or the book? Oh, the book was.
I mean, the movie, so it was like the last like big push. I know there's the, was it the Wand of Grimmelwald or whatever, the new, what's
The
the,
Womb of Grindelwald.
whatever. It's such like
it's-
a half chub. All the new like Fantastic Beasts, like I don't think that anyone will ever get as excited as they were for a Hogwarts story or like a Harry Potter proper story. So
I'd
like,
probably get pumped for a reboot, but it needs to wait like another 15 years before I could reach that point.
yeah, I don't. I mean, it's the Star Wars problem, right? If you try to set anything outside of the Luke universe, people get upset, or it has to be close enough related. But you know, you do good enough Knights of the Old Republic, then people get excited about it. So hopefully that's what this is.
For sure.
And then who knows? We can have a Harry Potter movie set in the 1800s in the future. Yay! Who knows? I don't know.
So a couple of other tidbits from Lizo Mzimba on Twitter says, I am told this is from a yet-to-be-announced RPG currently titled Harry Potter Magic Awakened. Although the titles including Magic Forever are also in the mix, other Potter games are also thought to be on the way. So...
You can't call it Harry Potter, though.
no, you can't, actually.
That's a good point.
Wizarding World of... You could just call it Wizarding World. I thought that's what they were going to do with Fantastic Beasts, that it was going to be Wizarding World of Newt... What's his name? Scamander. But
when you say Harry Potter, I think of the universe and less of the character. Like, if you say Harry Potter, I think of the Harry Potter world and not of Harry Potter.
I think of Daniel Radcliffe standing naked next to that horse.
And he looked good doing it.
Was it him who also played a corpse?
Yeah.
Was that Elijah Wood? That was him?
in that movie?
Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
No, it's so sorry.
I don't follow film.
He's had a long and very profitable career.
I'm into it. I like the idea of it. All the tidbits make it sound pretty cool. This isn't it, by the way. This is
No,
one of the
that's
old
it.
ones?
for Stone. Yeah.
We got it early.
On the GameCube.
Ignore all the GameCube controls that they keep on screen at all times for some reason.
Kids, man.
I hate old games.
I never played a Harry Potter game I liked. Unfortunately, although
Not even
apparently the
the Quidditch
Quidditch game
one?
was...
No, the Quidditch game I think was probably actually bad. I just enjoyed it. I think if I played it now, I would find it bad.
I would have been like in high school, maybe, or different tastes.
Yeah. I don't want to read a review of it. Like, I'm good.
When do you think this is going to come out, though?
What, Sorcerer's Stone?
No.
2003?
What, the game?
Oh, man, I have no idea. So
Based on what it looks like in those leaks, you think, what, E3 announcement, holiday next year?
Well, if they're testing the trailer now, it could have been scheduled to be a Game Awards announcement, maybe? I don't know how long it takes to make revisions for that kind of thing, but announced then would probably be released late 2019, early 2020.
Some of the articles I was looking at were predicting 2020.
Yeah, I feel like that makes more sense.
It's going to go up against Cyberpunk. That's no fair. Come on,
Or
guys.
will it?
Cyberpunk
Wow.
can't handle this.
Yeah.
All right, cancel the game.
CD
Cancel.
Projekt Red's like, yeah, they're pulling their hair out. Like, oh, God.
Postpone.
So I can't remember who brought up Shadow of War. But yeah, I wonder about that because I would have liked to have thought... The first game, Shadow of Mordor, really got me more into Tolkienverse than I thought it would, with just like all the lore entries and like going back to the forging of the ring and doing all the cutscenes and stuff. So I could see a lot of potential in this, getting me super invested in the history of the Harry Potter universe. Again, it's weird to call it Harry Potter universe because it's about more than just that doofy little kid. But I mean, I don't know. Is anyone excited for that? Just the idea that because you can cram so much more in the same way that like you have to trim off a lot of excess detail to turn something into a movie. You can cram a whole lot of words into a game.
I'm not fully convinced J.K. Rowling thought the entire history of the universe out to the extent that Tolkien did. So like one thing that is hotly debated amongst Harry Potter fans is, do you guys think she had the Deathly Hallows and the Horcruxes planned from the start? Or they were only planned from the point where they showed up?
Pretty sure they're only planned from the point where they showed up.
Like,
That's what
I
it
feel
felt
like the
On
Deathly
that
Hallows... I feel like the Deathly Hallows weren't planned, but the Horcruxes were planned. But like people are like, bullshit, she just came up with that and just wrote it in when it was ready. Like, I feel like the Horcruxes would have been planned because otherwise Harry wouldn't have had the scar from the very beginning. It was like always trying to indicate that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think you could fault anyone for not having an entire universe and rules conceived in their head when they wrote this thing when they're in poverty.
And their first book series ever.
Yeah, I guess.
I think she had a web, and then just continually is adding little like strands within that web
Yeah.
and filling it in. And I think like, especially when she speaks to some of the lineages of the families, I think she probably has that framework and some of that backstory. But I do, like you said, it's like hotly contested. People saying like, well, no, J.K. has been planning this forever. I don't think.
I mean, she's still doing that, right?
She's still doing it.
Nagini being a
Yeah.
Korean lady.
I think she's still expanding the universe, which is fine. Like, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But some people are just so fervent in their support that they're like, no, don't you dare question J.K. Rowling.
Oh.
Well, I guess to that extent, are you guys concerned that since this is set so far in the past, that it won't feel connected? or that it'll feel arbitrary.
I think it'd be super fun. That's like my only concern is like, is it going to be fun to play? And it seems like it is. I'm like, cool with it.
Yeah, there was a lot of implication that like it's a lot of environmental stuff of like you can cast spells on what's around and then use things to your advantage in that way. There were some wizard duels. You know, get hit with spells. Ooh, you got it.
I just love Fable, the first Fable specifically, so much that if it plays like that, then I'm sold. Like just more games like that.
Okay.
Like Kingdoms of Amalur.
Okay.
But set in the Harry Potter universe.
So just kind of like doofy British high fantasy. Cool. Yeah, it's weird. You'd think there'd be more of that.
I look at the track record, I guess, with Warner Brothers in terms of licensed games or like, adapted games, whatever. I look at the Arkham games, the Mordor games, and I guess Harry Potter. They're right now they're 2 for 2 as far as I'm concerned. Like
that is true.
That they're actually really good at adapting properties with big, loud pieces of lore and then making a pretty fun video game out of it. So I think just based on that track record, I'm just like, do what you will. You seem to be pretty understanding. Not so great with the DC universe in your films, but the video game division, you're doing great.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Keep it up. A+, 2 stars.
Well, Adam, that's very inspirational.
Fantastic.
But I'm about to dunk on your positive vibes, man.
Yeah.
So there was an op-ed in games industry this morning that I thought was really interesting. Headline is, "It's time we stopped encouraging indies."
All right.
Yeah,
They've had it too good for too long.
basically.
Mean title.
Basically, yeah. So it's interesting because it's from a very conflicted viewpoint. It's essentially from a game developer who he opens with a quote from Kevin Smith, which is, "Boy, just endlessly stars in your eyes" kind of thing. So the quote is, from Kevin Smith. "Remember, it costs nothing to encourage an artist, and the potential benefits are staggering. A pat on the back to an artist now could one day result in your favorite film or the cartoon you love to get stoned watching." Yep, it's Kevin Smith. "Or the song that saves your life. Discourage an artist and you get absolutely nothing in return, ever." So it's a powerful point. And then the author of this op-ed, John Warner, then goes basically to contradict that, saying that there are a lot of students now. He says specifically in game development, I would extrapolate it out to like YouTube media and online media, influencer media, that have been kind of like over-encouraged to pursue their dreams to such a state where they're sinking a lot of money into education that's not really driving them anywhere and haven't been told a lot of practical advice that could really help them, which I thought was an interesting point. So I'll just read the intro here. This is from the op-ed. "Even though the market has become full to bursting and I fear that many of them, students, are running towards a horrible cliff, I never discourage. Even when I see young people stuck in the early stages of the Dunning-Kruger effect," a brief aside, Dunning-Kruger effect is when you perceive yourself being more skilled at something the less you know about it. So if you're an amateur musician or an amateur artist, you might think you're really great because you don't have the bulk of experience that would inform you that you're actually not.
Why is it named after a female cast member in Smallville, though?
It's interesting. That's where your mind went.
Diane Kruger?
No, Dunning-Kruger.
Oh. I was like, what'd she ever do? Jeez.
She was really bad and thought she was great.
She was in Chun-Li.
Exactly.
I feel like,
She was?
yeah.
Wait, Legend of
Dating
Chun?
Norman Reedus.
Well, that's good.
Huh.
So
I think she's great.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Could take or leave him. Sorry.
God.
I didn't read up on Dunning-Kruger before this podcast.
Might not even be her name.
Yeah, I don't think you're thinking of the right person that we are.
Did she ever play Hermione, though?
No.
No.
Well, there you have it.
Richard Dawkins kind of looks like Hermione, though.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Just a Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah. Who want to become indies without any experience in the AAA industry, I never discourage. Even when I see students enrolling in predatory schools that count indie as alumni career placement to bilk students into bloated programs they don't need for jobs they won't get, I never discourage. Frankly, it's time I looked at myself in the mirror and asked if I'm really acting ethically. Am I an enabler? Well, I'm done. I'm tired of seeing the waves and waves of absolute shit on the Steam storefront while believing I'm doing anyone a favor by telling them to pile on. I'm tired of hearing about people who have mortgaged their house to make a puzzle platformer. I'm tired of seeing those syrupy, quote, you should really take this online Unity course YouTube ads. And most of all, I'm tired of letting young people fall prey to this kind of nonsense because I'm too afraid of accidentally snipping the wings of the next Michelangelo. So, the thing that I thought was interesting in relation to what I think personally we deal with is I have wondered in the past, at conventions and stuff, it's often a question of how do we get to do what you do, which is like produce media. It's a fine goal, but I always feel a little self-conscious encouraging people to devote lots of time and effort into something that may not turn out to anything. I try to be really realistic when it comes to that, to basically say, kind of like in game development, you are trying to get in a field that has tons of competition, and you're fighting against people with no moral compunction about what they're going to upload and have lots of free time doing it, to do it. And that's a huge uphill battle to fight, especially when you want to create art, as opposed to some dude who's tasing a dead rat or like vomiting in a cup and then drinking it again. So I don't know, have you guys ever weighed the complications of how to talk about what you do to people who ask you about it?
I just give really specific advice. So it's always like, what if I want to do what you do? I'm like, well, what part of it do you want to do? And then, some people will just be like, I just love video games and I want to talk about them. I'm like, okay, well, maybe you're a really good graphic artist. Find a way to apply that to a company that talks about video games. So like maybe you're really good at, I don't know, you're good with numbers. You could be an analyst. Don't just be like, how do I become talent? Because I will always be like, don't do that. Like it's a bad idea. It's bad advice. Find something that you are good at and then find a way to apply it to the industry that you love, which I feel is sort of more realistic. Someone will like, how do I become on-camera personality? I'd be like, oh. There's no answer to that.
I don't either, yeah. And I wonder if sometimes people don't ask that when that's really what they want to know. I don't know.
I don't think there's an answer to that question.
Oh, really?
The issue this guy had was there's too many games on Steam, so we should stop encouraging indie developers.
He's encouraging people with like the American dream that may fail,
and it's
unrealistic.
interesting because to me that doesn't just apply to someone making indie games. That applies to someone that spends 15 years playing hockey from the age of 4 to 17 to go try to play professionally. That applies to someone that dedicates their life to being a graphic artist.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because to me it just seems like that could apply to anything that you dedicate yourself to, and maybe you will succeed, especially if it's competitive.
Yeah.
Maybe you will succeed, maybe you won't. But the person that mortgages their house to open a small business, a restaurant, like it's weird how just in indie games he's finding this. I actually was speaking to somebody recently that develops games and had an opportunity once to interview at EA, and I'm sure EA has its own stigma to that company, but just didn't want to be a cog in the machine and said, I'm going to stick with smaller indie studios. And I'm sure he's probably not speaking to those smaller operative studios. He's probably speaking to the guy that's going to mortgage his house to sit in his basement and make that game alone and hope that it becomes the next I Am Bread or whatever. The point is if you don't try, you will never know. And sometimes trying and requires risk. It's uncomfortable, and I don't know. I'm kind of, maybe I'm just a bleeding heart, but I'm sort of in the camp too of if you limit someone, you'll never know.
I think I totally agree. I don't agree that we should tell people not to do things because they're unrealistic. But sure, I think warning people is not unreasonable.
I think
this can be hard.
Yeah, I think being realistic. I think I'm a realist, and that's why I never pursued arts in post-secondary education, because I didn't think it was a realist. I'm actually not the living testimony to what this. I am the living testimony to what this guy is saying. I didn't think it was a practical pursuit. So who am I to speak?
Yeah.
But
well, so yeah, the article does go on to be specific about indie games in particular, mainly cautioning away from general educations. The author, I think, has a pretty big chip on their shoulder for schools that teach generalized game design. We're going to teach you a little bit of everything and then kick you out to be a game designer.
Target a niche aspect of game design, so they're saying. Yeah,
that's what the author says, is if you want to learn how to make a whole thing by yourself, you should start with a specialization so you get a job and a paycheck, and then you can perceive how the job is done, learn on the job, as opposed to learning a little bit in school and thinking you know how to do it yourself.
Knowing that's more valuable advice than him just saying, forget your dreams.
Yeah, fuck off, kids.
I studied Bachelor of Mass Communication, majoring in journalism and entertainment, and I feel like it was largely a waste of time. People are like, what do I need to study to review video games for a living? I'm like, you don't. They didn't teach me how to review anything. they taught me very outdated ways of writing news articles. There were like some valuable skills there, but very few. And I always thought with the 4 years that I spent doing that, if I had have instead been freelancing full-time instead of part-time, that I would have gotten further earlier. But depends on the field.
Are you wearing Lord of the Rings leggings?
Yeah, the Hills
Okay.
of Gondor.
All right. Sorry, I was getting distracted elsewhere. There's a homeless man dying outside.
Get in line, right?
Yeah, we're all waiting.
His dreams have also been crushed by this article. He just wanted to make an indie game. He sold his house. Now he's homeless.
I think there is a perception out there, but we've talked about this nonstop because I know we have a younger audience. They always ask, how do I fulfill my dreams? And there is a sort of some misdirection with school, I think, where you think, oh, there's a punch card, basically. If I do steps 1 through 26, I will achieve thing. And the things you forget about are the theory of chaos, which your whole life could be turned upside down and you don't know what's going to happen. Or you just decide you don't like the thing that you originally started doing. So it's sort of, I always tell people, go to school to figure out what you don't want to do for the rest of your life. Because then also you might achieve your dream and realize that is not your dream anymore. You're like, I want to work with dolphins, and like, these things are rapists. Oh my God, I had no idea. And then you're working with rapists for the rest of your life, and you don't want that. No one does. And they taste so good.
Stay out of Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah, or the aquarium, SeaWorld.
Dolphins rapists? That's a real thing.
There's no rape in nature. We taught them that word.
Like, yeah.
Ducks are definitely rapists.
Yeah.
I don't know about dolphins, though.
They will force themselves upon people
God
from
damn it.
time to time. Yeah, humans.
Does that
Really?
make dogs rapists also? Why don't we move away from this conversation?
I mean, you're the
Yeah.
one continuing it. I was just making light of a dark subject.
Upset about the dolphins.
So I don't. There's different. I think there's different ways of achieving what your dream is. So it's like if someone says like, I want to be, in your case, Alana saying like, I want to be a host. I want to be a on-air talent. You have to ask them like, well, what are the things about that? Like, ask yourself the question, why do you think you want to do that? And say like, because you just stand in front of a camera and you talk. You're like, well, that is not the job at all. There's so much more that goes into it that you don't know anything about. They might learn those things and go, oh no, I don't want that job. I want to be a performer. I want to go work at the circus. There you go. Be off.
Do you ever have people ask you guys like, do you have tips for starting a successful YouTube channel?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get that fairly often, and my thing is always like, there aren't any. Like, just be you. Like, don't think about it. They're like, I want to hit 1 million subscribers in the next year. How do I do it? And like, don't just stop thinking that way, or you'll destroy yourself. Like, do not think about that as an aspiration. Be like, make good content, make stuff you want to watch, and make stuff you like making. Like, don't think about it that
Take
way.
out a $10,000 loan.
Make a puzzle platformer.
No, you buy Chinese bots who then subscribe for you.
I was gonna say you get one of those really expensive flights. Like that was like one of Casey Neistat's like
yeah.
first viral
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
You get like one of those Singapore Airlines rooms and you just vlog the whole thing. Done.
Yeah, but then you got to do it again.
I was reading about a flight that has a shower in it. 5 minutes, you get a shower. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
Pretty nice.
Have you ever taken a shower in the air?
No.
I just jumped.
Not intentionally, but I
Does
have
urine
dumped
count?
stuff on myself while in the air.
Yes, I have too, but I want that. And when you come back to your seat, there's like a fruit plate with honey waiting for you.
Damn.
Just honey.
I know, right? Like it seems like it costs $4 to get fruit and honey when you're on the ground. But if you take a shower in the sky and come back to it
Yeah.
waiting for you, that seems somehow
Oh, I'm
ridiculously
rich.
opulent.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer law.
Yeah. God, I want that so badly.
No one does.
Well, speaking of healthy relationships, like you with your job, Hinge would like you to pursue a healthy relationship with your partner that you may or may not have yet. So as we said in the outset of the show, Hinge is a dating app that supports mindful choices, thoughtful habits, and overall healthy, intentional relationships. So this isn't other dating apps that might rely on photos or impulsive swipes. This is longer profiles. It's more about people growing together but being healthy, separate first. People that can build each other up and lead to positive life choices. They say that, their app is rooted in long-term choices, not short-term, so a stable partner versus a passionate one-night stand, which is not to say that that's bad, by the way, if you do you, but if this is what you're into, Hinge might be the kind of app you're looking for. They talk about like kind of we were talking about with indie games and game development, relationships with jobs. If you want to find somebody that has already kind of worked through that themselves and has a positive and sustainable work-life balance, somebody that matches your lifestyle too, that's important. And just relationships where your qualities improve each other. With my current girlfriend Stephanie, I'm certainly one who likes to cocoon inside because that's where all of my technological delights are. And she's very, very good about dragging me outside and throwing me in the sun. And then once I stop smoking and screaming and spitting and hissing, then I usually end up having a good time. It's like when you're tired and you want to go to bed and you have to brush your teeth first. You don't want to do it, but once you're in it, it's not so bad. Then you have clean teeth. So if that's the kind of relationship you're looking for, Hinge would recommend you try out their service. So that's Hinge. It's on the App Store for mindful choices and better partners. Thank you, Hinge, for helping us all find the partners that make us better people. Speaking of partnerships, Omar, hit us with that Cyberwatch bumper. You're gonna have to lay on that a couple times though. We got a really stacked Cyberwatch this week. God, it's so loud. Christ. I'm gonna get in that video game yet. All right, so we got a potential release date, and which is to say it will absolutely be true. So comicbook.com reports that Cyberpunk will release in 2019. This is based off of a tweet from a Turkish company called Bilcom. The tweet has since been deleted, but Bilcom just basically tweeted out, Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out in 2019. All right.
What does that company do?
I'm glad you asked. So this is from the article, quote, Bilcom is a large and reputable distributor and publisher in Turkey who has worked with CD Projekt Red in the past. For example, it helped publish The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt in Turkey. Company's also worked with other big companies in other big markets such as Warner Brothers Interactive and Apple. It's even verified on Twitter, whatever that's worth. So there you have it.
They haven't gotten the publishing contract for Cyberpunk, so now they're being spiteful or some shit.
Could be. Maybe. Or it was just a mistake.
Yeah.
Or
they thought they were allowed to say it.
Yeah, somebody maybe overheard something in the office and they're like, tweets in Polish.
Twitter.
Yeah. So there you have it. 2019 confirmed. We'll all be living in Cyberland, which means I got less than a year to beat Witcher 3.
I don't know about that. I just don't know.
It's not.
I don't know about it.
It's not happening.
I don't know. Given that they just said that the game is playable from start to finish, I don't think you can flip it in less than a year and have it be a full, complete, bugless, feature-rich experience.
They haven't recorded all of their VO yet. Other games coming out in 2019 largely have.
It doesn't take long to record VO.
No, but it's
Yell into a microphone. There you go.
an
Done.
important thing.
And it's all robots doing the VO
get your fuck.
anyway.
It's all robots. Yeah.
I wish you no ill will ever, but comedically speaking, you getting hit by a bus the day before this game comes out is the best outcome.
It would have to be like an electric
this journey.
hover bus, but yes.
Yeah, driven and auto-driven too.
It would have to hit me on my electric motorcycle
Yeah.
while I'm listening to cyber music. No, you're right. I thought about that. Kind of like that kid who wanted to play Smash Brothers before he died. What happens if I get in a terrible accident?
But he did though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I can pull as long as I survive the bus crash. While my liver's failing, then I
see.
can.
Okay, so we do a Make-A-Wish Foundation for Lawrence.
But first we have to get Lawrence
We have
sick.
to inject him with something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, what if it's a Make-A-Wish with the possibility he might get hit by a bus? So if there's something wrong with him, we just reach out to CD Projekt Red and
He
say,
could die. It's
"Something
statistically
could happen."
possible.
Yeah,
Lots of
something
buses
could
around.
happen to this man.
Did you guys hear about all those motorbike accidents he had?
Yeah, he's quite clumsy.
Can they put a character in the game that is a Lawrence-like, and it's some nerd in the future who's super excited about some game he can't wait to come out, and he has a weekly podcast where all he does is talk about this thing, and they mock him endlessly a la GTA 5 in this world of Cyberpunk. Free idea for you, CD Projekt.
You're welcome.
You got your Laszlo
they were looking
of
for
CD
ideas.
Projekt sitting right
They were
here.
desperate.
Yeah, they were like, all we had was the one mission.
Oh yeah, Parcelmoose says it has to be a bus with a cyberpunk ad on the side.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Like the release date.
Once again, is that
1 minute
irony
before
or is
midnight.
that's still a coincidence, right?
It depends what
Might be
version of irony you're
contributing to
talking
irony.
about.
If it was a
Irony.
okay, wait, no. If it was
What if it's a truck carry copies
yeah,
of cyberpunk?
on its way, and you were on your way to go pick up the game, and then the truck? That's irony, I think.
Tragic irony.
Yeah, because actual irony, well, there's dramatic irony, which is where the audience knows something the characters do
I
not.
don't need no D&D alignment chart for my irony. I know what it
Morris
is.
taught me everything I need to know. God damn it.
Isn't it ironic? No, it's not.
None of
Woman?
it, which made the song ironic.
Yeah, it's fourth
That's
dimensionally
true.
ironic.
Did you learn that from pop-up video?
No, I read a comment somewhere at some point. No, wait, it wasn't Pop-Up Video. It was like, I love the 90s or one of those things.
Oh.
And some comedian laid it out, and he's like, the frustrating thing about the song is that everything in the Alanis Morissette song ironic is that none of those things are ironic, they're all coincidental, which in fact makes the song ironic.
Yeah.
Whether she did that on purpose or not, who knows?
I remember there being a pop-up video where one of them was like, nothing she's actually singing about is ironic. And
It's,
But
yeah,
do
it's
they-
just unfortunate
Yeah.
or coincidental.
It's like 1,000 spoons and all you
Yeah,
need is a
rain on your
knife.
wedding day is just a bummer. It's not irony.
yeah, they're all just
It's the one day.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, whenever it rains, it was probably somebody's wedding day, so that it doesn't really work out. I think it's more like
Free ticket when you already paid.
I'm trying to think of what would make rain on your wedding day actually ironic.
You had a rain-themed wedding,
Yeah, that
so
helps.
you were gonna have artificial
okay,
rain.
Okay.
I think that helps. Yeah.
And you paid for it already for the artificial rain, and then it rained.
That would be ironic.
Would it be?
Would it?
That might be coincidence.
I
on.
think that's coincidence.
Google, help me define.
What are you going to Google? Would
Yeah.
it be ironic if your wedding was rain themed?
We notice you're having a stroke. We're sending paramedics to your house right now. Would you like us to finish this email for you?
A state of affairs or an event that seems deliberately contrary to what one expects and is often amusing as a result. But
Then I think the wedding thing is ironic.
possible.
Because it's amusingly contrary to what was planned.
But you can't plan the weather, so it's kind of baked in. We'll figure that. We got a whole hour to figure this
These are
out.
not
We'll get there.
matters for mere mortals.
Anyway, I like the fact that the article said, good news, guys, it's coming out 2019.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The game's not done. And
Who cares?
If it is,
Well, I'm
it's
just
super
saying,
late 2019.
the masters of their destiny are the guys making the game. So it's not like them going like, well, shit, you got to hit 2019. Like,
Guess it's got to happen now.
they're like, they've been working on this thing for what, 5, 6 years, 7 years?
6 probably.
Something
Well,
like
I
that.
mean,
maybe
it's
7.
been vaguely in production for almost a decade.
Sure.
Like a super long time.
They had one guy making leather jackets and
There was a guy emailing
neon.
people and being like, can you make the Cyberpunk game? And then finally got to CD Projekt and they were like, all right.
Yeah, once
or
they finished
whatever.
Witcher 3,
Hans
they
Smith or
went,
whatever.
Yeah.
they went heads down into this thing. But it, like, just because someone, they probably said on a phone call or something like, yeah, we're aiming for 2019, but it looks like it, we don't know yet. Like, they could be aiming for it.
It could be really late 2019. The Witcher 3, I think, released in May.
Yeah, it was May.
I can see them doing 2020 May.
Yeah, that's what Adam and we put our chips down on mid 2020, like
Yeah.
early summer.
Because it's also, I'm expecting this to ship on next-gen consoles, and we're expecting those to be announced next year, meaning they should
Xbox
come out the year
Scarlet?
after.
So, in addition to, well, here's the problem: the future of Cyberpunk is in jeopardy. Sorry to say, because thank you, Omar. He's ahead of me on this. I love it. We got a link. We got a psychic understanding. Andrzej Sapkowski. I did the phonetic pronunciation on Wikipedia, and apparently the W is an F sound. I had to reference back and forth. Anyway, he's an extremely cool guy who is now going to CD Projekt and be like, you guys owe me way more money because I wrote the books and you made way more money than I thought you were going to. It's awesome.
Like he was supposed to get more royalties than he got?
Blah.
Well,
he signed away the rights.
He never signed for
Oh.
royalties.
So
Wow.
CD Projekt kind of taking a giant shit on this dude's head, posted the demand on their website. So they have a good reason to do it. So this is a regulatory announcement. Essentially, they're notifying investors. By the way, this dude is asking for, I can't remember the exact amount.
$16 million US.
Oh, that's
16
a lot.
US?
It was
So-
like 500 million rubles or whatever
Yeah.
the Polish currency is.
Let me see. So I'm going to, so because of that, they posted the full letter that the author sent to CD Projekt, which is great. Oh my God. So I read this and I was like, the fucking balls on this guy.
What is it? What's the synopsis?
All right, so let me go through it beat for beat because
Read the whole thing.
I'm not going to read the whole thing
In
verbatim.
your best Polish accent. You made at least do the magical one?
Yeah.
I don't know what Polish people sound like.
Same.
Sure, that's fair.
Same thing.
To our
kinda sound like Dobby,
uncultured
right?
ears, it'd sound like a bad Russian accent.
Probably.
I don't know. I watched the whole making of Witcher.
So let's see here. The article opens up saying like, hey, I know we had an agreement, but just because we had an agreement
it's
doesn't mean I
American.
can't ask you for more money, essentially. And then it sources a couple of things. It says, let's see here. This clause may be invoked when the compensation remitted to the author is too low given the benefits obtained in association with the use for that author's work. They say, notably, the latter condition is considered fulfilled if the compensation remitted to the offerer is too low by a factor of at least 2. So they're saying if you made double the profit from licensing work that you didn't pay back to the original author, they're allowed to come back after you. I haven't read the clause that they're citing, so I don't know how valid that is. But that would be pretty fucking generous. Anyway, the exact circumstances. The aforementioned factor is significantly greater than 2. That is to say, the disparity between what the author was paid and what CD Projekt made off of the 3 games, far greater than 2. I love this. The parenthetical. One might say egregiously so. I love the wording of this because it's so just catty and cutting.
Yeah. One might say.
Not me, but one.
Yeah.
One might.
I've heard rumblings, not I.
Goes on to say, it may be assumed that standard royalty rates associated with the use of work, particularly in adaptations, are approximately 5 to 15% of the profits generated. In addition, this percentage value should be greater than the corresponding provisions of your contracts with the author pertaining to the blah, 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 just goes
Send
on.
him a free Gwent pack.
But basically says, 60
go.
million PLN, 60 million Polish zlotskis. Oh, wait, no.
Zlotys?
Zlotys, thank you, which is 16 million US. Here we go. Now, this is when it gets great, because essentially, this thing goes on to say, you probably don't want to tell anyone about this because it might not be so good for you. Let's
So
see
they
here.
just published it publicly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After this letter's we could probably figure this out ourselves.
That's like how the Pirate Bay, every time they get a takedown notice, they publish it on the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. So this is them trying to justify the fact that they're coming back to this after the author totally signed away all the rights. Careful reading of your contracts concluded with the author might lead one to conclude that if the company did effectively acquire any copyright at all, it concerned only the first in a series of games, and therefore distribution of all their games, including their expansions, add-ons, etc., is simply speaking unlawful. What the fuck? They're basically saying you only got to do Witcher 1, and we can sue your ass for the rest of them. Naturally, we do not intend. Oh man, this is my favorite line. Naturally, we do not intend to engage in a debate with you on this point. However, having access to your own legal department and availing yourselves of the services of your external law firms, you may relatively easily determine that in the best case, the aforementioned contracts do not conform to even rudimentary due diligence principles. And even if one were to demonstrate that the successive contracts, air quotes, confirmed the alleged transfer of the copyright for all games, the subject claim is nevertheless rooted in legal regulations in this scope, especially in Article 43 of the Act on Copyright and Related Rights. Man, so they're basically saying that you may have signed it away, but the contract is written like shit. So come on now. Let's see. It goes on. There's even more.
Oh my god.
Polish accent, go.
I don't know what that even sounds like. Let's see. For a long time. Oh yeah, they're basically saying we spent a long time writing this, so don't even question any of it. I like that part.
Good. Do you think that guy's getting paid for the Netflix series?
Yeah.
We are prepared to settle the matter in an amicable and, more importantly, expeditious and quiet manner.
That's what makes me think that he probably did this, because he was like, I'm getting a lot of money for this Netflix thing. Probably should ask them for more money. It's a valuable property.
All right, this is a good one. Yeah. Both we and you are, after all, fully aware of the fact that even going public with any copyright claim may negatively impact the group's reputation and further growth. This is particularly true if the claim concerns your core activity and your most important product. We can reasonably expect that the negative consequences of the fact that Mr. Sapkowski's work has not received his due compensation, and furthermore that the validity of your copyright contracts has been called into question, may translate into a decrease in stock prices significant enough to exceed the demands formulated in this notice.
How'd their stock do today?
It's so threatening.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know.
It's all like, well, if you talk about it, that would be bad for you.
This is when you call your friend who's a lawyer, or your friend of a friend who's a cop, and you have them call someone else to intimidate them or something.
It's actually doing great.
Wow, the stock went up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
Nice.
Totally fine.
Huh.
Let's see here.
That CD Projekt stuff.
They're publicly traded, just
I didn't think they were.
themselves?
I thought they went public, yeah.
Huh.
Forget when or why, but
That's interesting.
Positive effects. In our principle.
it feels kind of like a George Lucas thing, right? Where it's like the man made Star Wars and now everyone hates him. It's kind of weird. So now this guy invented a Witcher. Wouldn't have a Witcher video game without him, but I'm sure the CD Projekt fan base is rallying behind the game company, not the guy who
course.
Yeah,
originally
well,
made
he's
it.
kind of also gone out of his way to antagonize anyone.
I am on no one's side in this
No, no,
situation.
no.
I'll throw
He
that one out
antagonizes
there.
people.
Give it a minute. So I have, over the years, read many interviews with this author, and he's a salty son of a bitch, and I love it. I'm so here for it. So I dug out some old interviews where he's quoted as basically taking a giant shit all over Witcher. The games, I mean. So there is a current interview with him. This was last year actually, 2017, March 2017. So this is him talking about his signing away of the Witcher rights. This is from the Eurogamer article. Simply, he didn't think it would amount to much. He being the author. He thought games were stupid. Had done ever since shooting Martians on an old console plugged into a TV. Quote. Okay, let's play cards and let's drink vodka, he said back then. But killing Martians is stupid, and my standpoint stands. It is stupid. Quote, I was stupid enough to sell them the rights to the whole bunch, he says. They offered me a percentage of their profits. I said, no, there will be no profit at all. Give me my money right now, the whole amount.
Oh my God.
I was stupid. I was stupid enough to leave everything in their hands because I didn't believe in their success. But who could foresee their success? I couldn't.
Well, even after the first Witcher game, you couldn't foresee their success.
Yeah, no, it wasn't there until Witcher 2.
No, going back to, don't support indie devs, these guys fucking put their knuckles to the ground and work their asses off to build a company out of nothing. I mean, their whole backstory is actually very
They
fascinating.
made one of the best games ever made. I would say The Witcher 3 is one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
And Witcher 1
off
was
the back of 1 and 2. I liked 2 a lot.
I did too.
This man sounds like he hermits himself in a shack with a bottle of vodka and churns out Witcher novels and has no concept of popular media or
I think he's
culture.
pretty old. I feel like he's like 70.
60s, late
60s?
60s,
And
yeah.
I mean, it seems like he also didn't have any real advisors around him making this business decision.
He's definitely very entrenched in his viewpoints because people have asked him if like, oh, have you played the games? And he basically spits on them. And then he's like, well, what if there's like good ideas? And he's like, there can't be. I'm the author. I made Witcher. Everything good about it came from me. There is no way that an anecdotal work could ever meaningfully add to my universe.
I feel like if he would just play nice, they could potentially like hire him on as a consultant. And he probably could have got a sweet deal if he had just been nice and said like, maybe 1 million a year. And they would be like, yeah, that's doable. Hey, because if you listen to the CD Projekt guys talk about the Witcher books, they're huge fans. They're big nerds over it. So I don't think it's in their blood or their any sort of intent to be mean to this guy.
Absolutely not.
That's the vibe I've gotten from them.
He seems like he's difficult to work with. It gets better, by the way. So from a 2012 interview, and I remember this quote specifically because I was like, man, this guy's got a weird head. And I love it because it's kind of contrast to the guy who writes Metro. Because he's just like, no, Metro belongs to the world. Like, I just wrote 3 books. The games are great. I love them. Like, I want everyone else to write Metro.
But does he get like residuals?
I don't know. Maybe he's
maybe he's sitting pretty.
maybe he's got a better arrangement.
Is he Russian?
Yes.
I thought so.
So this is from a 2012 interview with the title, Ever Wondered What the Author of the Witcher books thinks about the games? Quote, I believe it's the success of my books that significantly affects the popularity of the games, he returned. That in reality, the games use this fact and my success beat the games to the punch. So he's basically saying that the success of the Witcher novels, which, at least in America, frankly, relatively unknown before the games came out.
Sure.
Anyway, he does soften it a little bit. Says, quote, of course, I don't want to diminish the role of the video game. It is obvious that it had a positive impact on the interest of foreign publications and the number of translations. A lot of gamers, of course, would only gain interest in the books because they like the games. Otherwise, they would have never read it. But then he keeps talking.
Aww.
Quote, it's also important to note that there is a negative aspect, damages if you like, that I bear because of the game, he went on. But neither the game or, God forbid, its creators can, of course, be blamed for such state. Some foreign publishers are doing me a disservice by painting my books with artwork borrowed from the games and including game advertisements and game-related blurbs inside. So
he's insulted by the idea that the success of the games would overtake his books, or even enough to be relevant in the books.
That's what it sounds like an
Yeah.
insecurity complex, where he's like,
Well,
mine should still, my art should still be prized as the superior art above this other form. But there's actually been a shift where that's not the case.
Yeah.
yeah, I just like that
Can you look up like the sales of the Witcher books?
Sure.
And then we could versus that to the Witcher 3 and be like,
It's like
boom,
the Bible, the Witcher books.
right under.
Like, most sold.
And then Witcher 3, Wild
Yeah.
Hunt. Yeah. And then Geralt, Jesus.
Gwent,
Oh man,
just
you know it would be
right at the
awesome if CD Projekt Red did. They went and they did
This was the
a
article.
novelization of the Witcher game. So
Oh, they
you know
probably-
how like it's usually like
Yeah.
of the Wild Hunt, because I think that's after the books.
like a big fuck you of this guy. They went and they
Oh,
like
he would
Now what
despise
is he gonna-
that.
And then it outsells all the other books.
yeah.
So yeah, this was the article I remembered from early 2017, basically contrasting Andrzej Sapkowski with the author of Metro.
Which author thinks the games have lost him book sales?
Andrzej does. The Witcher guy thinks that the impression of the game has caused him damages in book sales.
Is his thinking like people will just go play the game instead of reading my book, or
But
is
the
it more
books
than
start
that?
before the game.
His statement, I think, is that people, when they think of Witcher, now think of the games, which is not as good as his books. Therefore, it's damaging his property by the association. He says, let's see here. This is from an interview with Waypoint. Quote, the belief widely spread by CD Projekt Red that the games made me popular outside of Poland is completely false. I made the games popular. All of my translations in the West, including the English one, were published before the first game.
Yeah, that's usually how it starts with all media. It's the book is
Here
the
we
most
go.
popular thing, and then
Another quote. There are
Yeah.
more people who have played the games because they read the books, he added. That's my count, but I'm not sure. I never did any studies.
I love arguments based on feelings.
Listen, the statistics say this, but also I didn't get any statistics.
Well, and to me, there's an innate contradiction here. He's quoted on public record as saying, I'm the reason these games sold well. But then he's looping back and saying, well, actually, you owe me more money because of your success. Which I guess is justified, but if he was the one driving it all in the first place, why did he sign the rights away right away?
He's already made his case that he doesn't understand popular culture. When he's saying like, you shoot Martians, you dumb, give me money. And it was like, that was it. He already said, I'm stupid.
This article also points out that he's just factually wrong.
I just want to interview him now.
Yeah,
No, you don't.
I really do.
I do
I
too.
feel like it'd be a lot of fun.
I think we get along.
Drink your blood.
He's it's just like drinking vodka and being mad at kids, I guess. I love it. I love it, and I'll never stop loving it. Anyway, he's gonna bankrupt CD Projekt Red.
Okay.
So
I feel like he might fail at that, but you know.
it does make me wonder, because CD Projekt was like, yeah, we're moving on from The Witcher. We enjoyed our time with it, but it's time to like try something else. I wonder
They
if
said
he was.
that it was something like if there was going to be another Witcher game, it wouldn't have Geralt as the main character. So them announcing that makes me think there is going to be another Witcher game. It's just not going to have Geralt as the main character. Like, why would you say that?
They just announced there was another Witcher game announced. It was like in a weird email that no one noticed. There's like a top-down tactical Witcher game.
No, but I mean like a traditional.
Yeah, like an open-world RPG.
Yeah.
The Watcher.
Man,
The Wancha?
I love salty, old, bitter authors.
They make Andrzej. they make a game called Andrzej, but super novelist.
Slays all sorts of puss.
It's just Alan Wake.
Best book in the world, better than video game.
I got to give him credit though. He was talking about his like thought process, because he submitted Witcher basically to like a essay contest and didn't win. But I know, weird, right? But he talked about how like there's all these fantasy tales about like a stable hand or whatever becoming a hero of legend and going off and slaying a monster. He's like, that's stupid. They don't have any training. They just get killed. When you like want your plumbing fixed, you call a plumber. So when you want monsters killed, you would call a monster hunter. You call a professional, someone who's trained to do it. And that's where he kind of came up with the idea about Witchers in the setting of
So
the
he
game.
thinks he also should get credit for Monster Hunter.
I hope so.
And X-Men.
And everything.
And Jedis.
Jedi's also. It's
Sure.
all him.
Who else can you
Exterminators.
sue? Stephen
Bad,
King.
yeah.
He's pretty rich.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Bezos.
Yeah.
Sue him as well.
Sue Shadow of Mordor. They ripped off Harry Potter. Totally ripped
All
off
of it.
Witcher.
Andrzej Potter. I have manuscript hidden away. You see.
Hermione Witch. I make Witcher. You sue.
Yeah. Maybe we can invite him
so
onto the
hard,
show.
my nose
Hang
got
on.
running.
I don't know. I feel bad ripping on him,
We're
but
all
he's,
gonna get sick.
it's
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's all right.
It's technically
I'm
my,
already-
my fault. I gave it to
I
Stephanie.
just keep coughing.
Stephanie
were
gave
the-
it to you.
You were patient zero?
I mean, I was never sick, ever, despite taking a day off.
You had a day off because you were sick.
that was a
I
lie.
was spitting up like yellow chunks this morning and my ear hurts, but that might be.
No, you sick. No, you totally sick.
Whenever I'm spitting up chunks, that means I'm on the downslope. That means my brain's just draining
Just
shit.
getting rid of it.
Yeah. But man, it's like kind of solid, and then you gotta like shove it down with your finger because it sticks to the side of the sink.
We're all dying.
How'd we get here?
Rotting from the inside out.
This podcast is sponsored by Mac Weldon. Thanks, Mac Weldon, for the sponsorship. So Mac Weldon has sponsored us a number of times, and I try to not like just recycle the same talking points. So today we're gonna look at some new pants tech. That's right, Mac Weldon's got some new tech for you. They have sweatpants. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but sweatpant tech has come a long way. I don't know if you can throw it to the, yeah, thank you, Omar. The Ace Pant. Let me rattle off some space age tech here to cloth your crotch. Micro sanded French terry for softness and stretch. It's got a stealth pocket and ribbed cuffs. Damn. Look at how fashionable that shit is. Yeah.
Oh, great sweatpant challenge.
Executive sweatpants about town.
That's good. I love clothes where it's like, it's athletic, it's casual, but it's kind of
looks
has
nice.
features where you could just wear it.
Damn right.
Those look really nice.
Yeah.
You
I like
gotta
those.
step up your sweatpant game. For the longest time, I just thought that they were ratty clothes. No longer. No. Mac Weldon means that you can wear garbage clothes in style and let this shit blows my mind. Wait.
That's not what you had open.
Not quite. I mean, that looks really cool
Yeah, it
too.
looks
I didn't know they
nice.
sold like bags and stuff.
Oh, that's a nice bag.
I'm into it. All right, well, never mind. Yes, the boxer briefs, the Pro Knit. Even more tech for your ass. They got they have a motion control pouch. Combines a front U-curve with a supportive sports shelf for high impact support. Next time I run into a car, my balls will be held out of the way. The Nylit Breeze Yarn technology cools you down when you heat up. Targeted mesh zones strategically increase airflow. And wicking and ultrasonic bonded waistband stays dry and never chafes. You will
Shame
never.
you can't wear them while having sex
You can.
with all those features.
Some
You
can.
might be able to like pry or open.
Yeah.
And depending on how much a waistband might pinch off, that can make it a little awkward sometimes when there's just like a little guy just pushing on the bottom there. But you can make it work. You can make it. Hey, that might even make it last longer. You're like popping a rubber band around the base. Look at this bulge. My God.
Talk about the
Incredible.
underwear. Please, Lawrence.
Nah, I'm fine.
Stay on topic here.
Dude's doing a sweet
This
lunge.
seems on topic.
Anyway, Mac Weldon.
It's gonna be a good lunch.
I only bring it up because when they first sponsored our podcast, they had what I would say a fairly basic line of like shirts and boxers, but they've been building it out, and there's been scientists in labs with like beakers and test tubes mixing them back and forth. Boom, cloud of smoke, and then they got some high-tech boxer briefs on their hands. Cool. They also want you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair, you can keep it, and they'll still refund you, no questions asked, in case maybe you were getting a little concerned about the price tag. You can try it for free, and if your balls have never been more supported, again, pouch, motion control pouch, front U-curve, supportive sport shelf. I've never felt that, and I want to. I'm going to buy some of those after this podcast. So you go to MacWeldon.com, get 20% off using promo code SOUP. Again, if you don't like your first pair, you can keep it. They'll still refund you. MacWeldon.com, 20% off using our promo code SOUP. Thank you, Mac Weldon, for pushing underwear and I'm not going outside pants tech to new levels. I have such a comfortable array of like sweat shorts now that I feel like I've already achieved the pinnacle. But this is making me think there are heights yet unimagined that I could soar to.
Don't limit yourself, Lawrence.
I shouldn't.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
I won't let that one op-ed guy tell me to not buy those sweatpants.
Quit making indie games.
I will. Yeah.
Stop.
I'll stop making indie
Do
games
it.
and I'll just sit around and play indie games in my sweatpants
Excellent.
all day.
Can't. We'll get another Phil Fish. Can't have that happen again. No more.
I liked Fez a lot though.
Everyone
most
loved
people
it.
did.
I liked it.
So when you spend all your money on underwear, you still got to get fucked up somehow. But that's okay. I got your back. I need to invent a new segment where we talk about garbage food. Applebee's is selling $1 Zombies, which is a cocktail.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is a specialty drink. Whoa! You're right. It
Is that
even
a jump scare?
comes with a gummy
Feels like
brain. $1. I don't know if you can order as many as you want, or if it's only one. The
At least-
article didn't say.
At least you know what this is.
What, Applebee's? I've never eaten at Applebee's.
As a foreigner, I have no idea what this drink
Oh,
is.
you don't know what Applebee's
Have
is?
you ever gone to a restaurant
No.
and had some food and then microwaved it 3 days later?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Imagine less than that.
Menu full of that.
Yeah.
There's got to be so much sugar in this.
Absolutely.
Like
Rum, passion fruit, pineapple, cherry, lime, and brains.
Well, an
It's
actual
just
zombie is a
sugar.
tiki drink, so it's a bunch of fruit juice and rum.
Yeah.
This is probably with a horrible mix that is just sugar and like
Oh yeah.
fake flavoring.
It's just there's a giant vat. There's just somewhere that there's a pre-mix, so it's probably I don't know 95% sugar, 5% alcohol, if that.
Excellent.
is there an Applebee's in Los Angeles? Like, do those exist?
Let's find out.
Absolutely. Oh, there's plenty. Wherever there's
Actually,
Americans.
today I've officially been in LA for 3 months.
Oh wow.
They've
Somehow
never
never
been to
been-
an Applebe's?
3 months.
What's your problem?
That's not that long.
The
Oh,
shit.
man.
I'm searching for Applebee's and it's telling me about Buffalo Wild Wings.
Did it
Might
get really
be
hot
on-
in here? Or is that just
I'm
does seem a little
like
warm.
I mean, I've been boiling all day.
well, that's like, am I
but
sick or is it just
I am
actually hot?
I am on fire.
The topic of Applebee's will increase most people's
Women
internal
just-
temperature by 5 degrees. Yeah,
Apple.
yeah. It's
Bad news, there was an Applebee's in Inglewood, but it's closed.
No.
I don't know how.
that's probably
Millennials
shooting.
got it. All those $1 zombies put them under.
Killed it.
I feel like you have to go to Moore Park or something for Applebee's.
We'll do it.
No, there's got to be one like in the greater Los Angeles area somewhere.
The money we spend on
Get
gas.
Bruce in here. He knows where they are. He eats at Chevy's.
Holy shit. The Applebee's YouTube channel has a fucking video for the zombie. Hell yeah. Hold on.
Drink responsibly, Middle America.
What else is on the Applebee's?
Hey, is there still an Applebee's in Santa Clarita? Because I remember there being one.
What from the show? Ooh, ASMR Grill. What?
Is there?
Are you serious?
They have ASMR
They
Grill.
trying to
the
get into
lyrics.
ASMR?
This is blowing my mind.
What's the hashtag Wing the Lyrics? There's so many of them.
Which do you want? The mom loves sports. Do you
Happy
want?
Father's Day, dads. Veterans Day.
Omar and I were both looking at each other,
Now you're
shaking
just
our
pointing
heads.
at things and naming them.
Applebee's. I mean, I don't know what to watch first.
YouTube.
When I don't want to
Titus
microwave
is
my own
awesome.
food, I go
He
to
loves
Applebee's.
And he loves the fact that he's doing what he loves, cooking.
I'm proud to work for him. I aspire to always be great there. We treat each other like family. When you walk in, you can feel the love.
I don't understand it because he's so thin, but the man loves to cook.
This is inspiring.
This is so heartwarming.
They figured it out. Applebee's was dying because they weren't appealing to millennials, and all it took was $1 zombies and ASMR rib cooking videos.
What I hear him often say is, I love to feed people.
God damn it, I'm getting too inspired. Wait, I didn't mean to close that tab.
No one ever does. You know?
Why has he got 45 dislikes?
Yeah, who would? Oh boy, they haven't been very active. You
Probably the people who asked for like Friday afternoon off, and they said
What
no,
are
you
all
got to
these
double.
30-second videos?
2015 Applebee's #BeFamous Awards. Best photo bomber? What you got for
This
me?
award is the Best Photo Bomber Award. I actually don't have any photos to bomb.
12 dislikes, huh?
This award goes to Jamie Boster. You deserve it.
What?
What the fuck was that?
What?
You guys want
Our
jalapeno
engagements-
poppers or what?
Through the roof.
When we do our Big Bang Theory watch party, we should see if Applebee's will host.
When is that? When is the
Too
ending?
soon. You know, it should be years from now.
I'm afraid we're going to miss it if we're not careful of when the end of the Big Bang Theory
Probably
is.
May, right? They do a full season, I'm sure.
I try not to think about that show.
I've never seen it.
I've
Just
never
the
seen
laugh
it.
track list.
I've never seen a full episode, but if we did
I
a...
think the first one I saw is like Sheldon on a laptop and he's like, I'm gonna play Super Mario. And then there's a laugh track and I was like, oh, cause it's Mario?
References.
It's nerd blackface.
funny.
It's the worst thing.
Well, real quick before Hard Nuttin', I wanted to share. I mean, we've already all been inspired by Applebee's
And Harry Potter.
and Harry Potter
And told to not be inspired by
and the
that
dude who told you to
Not
not chase your
inspired by
dreams.
any games.
Yeah.
I thought I'd round it out with one of Larr's lads. So Lars's lads. Sorry, I always
Like the
forget
drummer
apostrophe.
from... Okay.
No, it's me.
Metallica.
This is a segment that only happened once, so it's not technically a segment. Also, I haven't made a little bumper for it yet.
Yeah.
But kind of like, in local news, they always like to highlight some water skiing squirrel or something.
Yeah.
I'd like to highlight a member of our community that really went above and beyond this week.
Okay.
So this is from the Oregonian, a real hero, did something amazing. Let me synopsis it for you here. He injured a law enforcement officer that was seeking to enter this house It opens up rather cinematically. They slipped by the minivan outfitted with the spring-loaded jaws of animal snares and avoided a circular hot tub turned on its side and designed to roll over trespassers who triggered a tripwire, something reminiscent of a scene from the movie Indiana Jones. But the FBI special agent and 3 state police bomb technicians never made it past the empty wheelchair inside the manufactured home they entered on the Southern Oregon property, court records say. With the slightest push, the wheelchair opened fire. "I'm hit!" the federal agent yelled as blood gushed from his leg, according to a criminal complaint filed in U.S. District Court in Medford. Authorities say the makeshift weapons were the handiwork of former owner Gregory Lee Rodvelt, 66, who was forced to forfeit his property as part of an elder abuse case brought against him by his mom, by the way.
Wow.
In 2016, Rodvelt's then 90-year-old mother and her guardian filed a civil lawsuit in Josephine County, which resulted in a $2.1 million judgment against the son, court records show. Though an armed standoff outside Phoenix landed him in jail last year, Arizona officials released Rodvelt from custody for 2 weeks in mid-August so he could tie up loose ends and prepare to turn over his property, according to the federal complaint. He used those 2 weeks rigging the entire house with death traps that people would then have to figure out, including a hot tub that was meant to roll down a hill and crush someone like an Indiana Jones rock. So to recap.
This is like Home Alone Part 4.
Yes, he did make it a Home Alone house, basically.
Cool.
I'm actually impressed.
The traps were actually going to kill people. He was sued by his mom for elderly abuse, lost, had an armed standoff with police outside of a police station in Arizona, I believe. And then, for the 2 weeks he was released to sell the home and actually pay off the lawsuit, he instead rigged it with death traps that actually put a police officer in the hospital.
God.
So...
How did the wheelchair work?
Apparently there was like a fishing wire that was connected to a gun, so when you moved it, the gun would shoot in the direction of the wheelchair.
That sounds difficult. Is he like super smart?
Kevin McAllister did that.
Yeah, I would say,
So
would a modern day Kevin McAllister own like an Airbnb, but it's just always booby trapped, so it's hard to get around?
But it's all live streamed also.
He wouldn't live stream it, no.
I just realized Saw is just the adult version of Home Alone.
Yeah.
Not that.
Or, I don't know, sometimes Home Alone feels more adult than Saw.
yeah.
There's some dark shit in there.
Yeah?
I wanted James to be the Wet Bandits with me for Halloween, but not interested.
Why?
Which
missing
one
out.
would you be?
Probably Marv.
Nice.
Is that
Good
Pesci?
pick.
It's
No,
the
that
other
was
one. It's Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern, really? Okay.
Oh wait, I don't know.
I don't know, you can be the Wet Bandits from Home Alone 3, the reboot, which they still call 3. So confusing.
I want to keep that continuity implication strong. Well, let's see, where's this guy? I already lost his name. Oh yeah, Gregory Lee Rodvelt for abusing your mother, having an armed standoff with cops, and using your 2 weeks out of jail to booby trap your home. You're one of Lars's lads. Thank you.
Is he dead?
No.
Oh.
This is what white dudes can get away with, man.
Well, you said he had an armed standoff. I assume there was a guy who got shot the other day for not having a gun, so I don't know. You say armed standoff, I thought would have ended differently.
Some
Wheelchair was armed.
You can
Who
usually get
wasn't
those things
armed?
down.
I forget which state it is, but there's a state now where if you're like a popular streamer, you can get on a registry.
I just saw that.
I don't remember where it was, but so
It's
like
not California.
Registry for what?
register so that way if you ever got like swatted,
It's like an
the
anti-swatting
police
thing.
would go, okay, well let's search the same in this database to see if like
Is it Washington State, maybe? I
it
think it was Seattle area?
I feel like it was Pacific Northwest.
I heard popular streamers are the most likely to have hostages, though,
Yeah, all
What?
their viewers.
for entertainment. I'm just saying, if a streamer actually ever decides to take a hostage and they're on a whitelist, I'm being facetious. I'm just making a dumb joke. The
All
chances
right.
of that happening are slim to nil. So.
I always have trouble finding that. There she is. There's that cursor. All right, it's time to net hard. Hit that button. Yeah. I need to just use that music for everything, which is amusing because it implies I already don't. But so this is the winner from last week, the Automaton covers,
Very good.
where somebody covers important music from history. Well, it puts a little dash of effort in it by.
They remake the film clips.
I have one of these little musical note guys.
Have you studied up on it?
No, James' brother, back when he lived in Japan, like sent it to us.
Yes, there's many glorious covers, and oftentimes they are styled in the style of music videos.
Rest in peace, Scatman. Taken way too soon.
Yeah. What was his name?
Scatman
I'm a
Carruthers.
scat man. That's what he said, right?
Scatman Carruthers?
Mhm.
So the Take On Me one is especially
Impressive.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's actually really cool.
It's just off by enough to avoid a copyright strike.
This is pretty cool.
I think it's pretty good. It's hard to beat.
So who's the contender? What is the noise it's making? Sorry, I wasn't here last week.
It's just like a shitty square wave.
Yeah, it makes like a little like. Bang.
You fret on the neck and then you squish the head and it makes
Okay.
it's like a, I don't know. It reminds me of
Oh,
like
that's the thing that makes the noise.
Yeah,
The head.
it's like it's
Yeah,
shaped like a
it's
giant
sweet.
note.
Cool.
And then you squish the note ball and then like fret on the stone.
Okay.
I should find that.
You should bring in yours.
I don't know where it is.
You could be famous too.
We can make something in here at the office.
Like something magical. All right, this is going up against. It's funny how like hard netting contenders tend to like file into categories. There's like musical covers. This is the doing one thing to a lot of different objects type of channel. Squirting mustard, in which they squirt mustard on stuff. So you want
Wow, that one has 41,000 views.
yeah, there's some that blow up. I guess there's some meme sensations in here, but mustard on an asthma inhaler, mustard on an iPod docking stereo.
What's the most viewed one?
Which one had? Well, let's see. I'll just sort by popularity here. Booyah! Oh yeah, the globe one. Yep. I guess everyone
By a
discovered
lot.
it. Well, I mean, it's mostly the composition of it because you got a twirling globe with some mustard dribbling on it there. So that's exciting because you don't know what's going to happen, where that mustard's going to land. Got a little Africa in there.
I have my answer. Ready.
Hold on, you haven't seen all the things. There's a digital multimeter, fidget spinner, trying to keep current with kids,
Right.
A sledgehammer, an apple. That's exciting.
How long have they been doing this for?
Mustard on Goutard chips.
At least
I'm
a
not sure.
year.
Oh, a clock. Wow. Let's see. I had a list. So 1 year ago, on a money, that's the unpainted doll. Ooh, potatoes. Well, that's apropos.
Ah, computer?
A notebook computer, no less.
He's eventually going to run out of things to pour mustard on, so
There are only 100 things in the world, as we know.
103 as of
sorry.
this year.
Wow. I've been squirting mustard on things since 2016.
Is this
I don't know why.
is it a kink?
I don't think it's
Is that
sexual.
why
Not
it's-
for him anymore.
There's going to be a hard cut to where someone kicks down his door and his booby-trapped wheelchair goes off and starts firing at people.
Except it just shoots mustard at them.
I actually ran out of mustard last night when I needed it. I'm 100% serious.
There you go. 50 things mustarded. Or 58 things.
Yeah, yeah.
He's only got about
Are these
50
all
left.
things? Yeah, they are. Okay. Oh, a condom. Exciting. Party glasses, Buddha, shuttlecock, chess queen.
Does it address why?
Right. World's #1 source for videos of having things having mustard squirted on them. There's an email. I can reach out. Also got the bit of Reddit username in there. That's exciting. Staple gun.
PSP. At least someone's still using them. Am I right?
All right, let's throw it to the votes. At least you sounded convinced. Who are you voting for?
The automaton guy.
All right, it's one vote for the automaton covers.
Automaton.
Automaton, yeah.
I'm going to have to give it to mustard
All right.
because
You
it's
have to economize
fresh,
that.
it's new, and I think it's got legs.
All right, Alana.
I'm also going with the real Sully G. Puts more effort in,
Okay.
you know.
Darn.
Well, that was
so
close.
upset that mustard didn't win.
Yeah, Adam's fuming.
You do look mad.
He's gonna hit us after the show.
I don't hit women, but I do
No.
berate them.
Dark Adam hits women. It's not my fault what Dark Adam does.
I don't know. All the Kavanaugh stuff, you gotta be careful what you say. It's gonna haunt you.
Yeah, it might be recorded or something.
Oh.
Keep that calendar. Keep it up to date.
My dad would show me, we'd gather around and cry. You see any of that stuff? The Kavanaugh stuff, it's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
He's like, my dad saved old calendars and he'd bring them out and we'd cry.
The SNL sketch where he's like, me and
Oh.
Ziggy and Pippi would go work out.
It's,
Would you guys say that's the funniest thing Matt Damon has ever done?
no.
I was actually surprised that they got Matt Damon for that.
Yeah.
Was it him who did the, I know it was Casey Affleck, and I don't want to say Matt Damon did the Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest things he's ever
Yeah,
done.
that was good.
It's just the part where they're like,
I'll look it up later.
Dunkin' Donuts, the great customers. They're like, hey, why don't you talk
Yeah.
to me? I'm a real Dunkin' Donuts
They're
guy.
from
And they're just
Boston.
like,
They're all doing like,
they're such assholes. They're like, don't stand by the door.
they're all doing Boston assholes.
Oh, I love it.
Well, let's close on another thing you love, Adam.
Yeah.
And that's a sponsor of this podcast, which is Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Hell yes.
So Venom excitement is reaching a fever pitch.
Which,
and as such, the fine folks behind Marvel Puzzle Quest are celebrating 5 years of Marvel Puzzle Quest this week and are featuring free gifts, new events, and new characters and more. In Marvel Puzzle Quest, you can create a custom team from the Marvel Universe that features such characters like Iron Man, Black Panther, Deadpool, Venom, Gambit, Luke Cage, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and more. More than 150 superheroes and villains packed in this game. They have goddamn Howard the Duck. I don't know, what other
Squirrel
deep cuts?
Girl,
Yeah, so they've...
Wiccan, Emma
Wiccan.
Frost.
Like Wiccan? Like
Wican, I believe he is the spawn of Scarlet Witch and Vision. I actually learned things about comic books from this game.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like Sentry. I know who Sentry is.
I
but
love
then-
Sentry.
See,
I'm
James
the only
looked,
person who does.
James looked into him and he was like, actually, his comic's pretty rad.
His
You should
comic's
check it out."
dope.
Yeah. So there you go. Learn something.
Sentry in the Void. A lot of people hate him. I think it's great.
All right.
In October, they're adding Cable and Taskmaster.
Also love Cable.
Everyone loves Cable. It's cool
Yeah.
dude with sweet guns. I didn't know about Taskmaster until I played Marvel Spider-Man, so
Taskmaster, yeah, I've been reading up on him. He's going to be crazy.
what's his deal?
He can use anyone's powers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he just
I
like
think
he watches
I know
them
of
and
him
then-
from Marvel vs. Capcom.
He's also
He was,
in the
oh,
new...
he was in that.
He's
He'd
in
be
the
like,
new
just
Spider-Man
like
as well.
Cap.
Jeez.
Pull shit out.
We've talked about it before. Marvel Puzzle Quest is the greatest because the power. It's like it's a match 3, but then with all the match colors that you get, you build up ability points and you use those ability points as powers, and they're always pretty damn good. And like it's pretty damn creative what they've done with the game. And then now Taskmaster can just use anyone's power. It's crazy. So he's gonna be a limited 4-star, I believe, but very excited for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. So so far this month they've already added Dazzler, Kitty Pryde, Nebula, Emma Frost, and more. I guess those are just recent because I remember Nebula.
Those are fairly recent, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of characters. Like Adam was saying, it's very broad in its scope for the Marvel Universe. Actually, probably the broadest, considering they can pull from everything. Because they have X-Men in there.
Yep.
It's an interesting way to just pique your curiosity and then deploy some Google, read on some Wikipedia articles. And they also have a special offer for new players. You can download Marvel Puzzle Quest using the link in our description, or go to d3go.com/dudesoup and get a free Eddie Brock Venom cover to add to your collection.
Let me do that right now.
So just like covers are basically how you level up and acquire new characters. So if you get a cover for a character you don't have, you can recruit them into your roster. And then there's like 3 different covers for each character. Each one applies to a different ability that they have, and you can level them up and then they get stronger. It's basically the perfect never-ending like grindy RPG. Not said in a bad way at all, because I played the hell out of that game for many years. But yeah, once more, for new players, go to d3go.com/dudesoup. Get that free Eddie Brock cover. It's a good way to start out. Good launch point.
I'm doing it right now.
But thank you, Marvel Puzzle Quest, for the sponsorship.
See if it works.
And thank you for listening to this podcast. I think that'll do it for today. Thank you all for joining. We learned a lot about life, love, Potter, dreams, and how to make an impromptu explosive device with a wheelchair.
Loading the game right now.
I'd appreciate it a bunch if you enjoyed this podcast. If you could recommend it to a friend or post about it online, leave us a rating on a podcast service, or just listen to us next week. That'd be great too. Do we have any announcements this week? Let me think. What's going on?
Man, I guess
Theater
you
mode
missed
coming
it
out?
on Friday. Theater Mode Season 2 is here.
Theater Mode
and
Season 2?
for this Friday, we've got a big stream, right?
Yeah. Super Mario Party. I guess we're going to do a drunk gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I thought, honestly, I was like, man, people probably aren't feeling that anymore. But I guess everybody's into it. So yeah, I get to get fucked up at work again. I can't wait.
That's not going to be a soundbite. I'm screaming that to the heavens.
I'll be kind with the rules. I need to play it first. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what the rig out's going to be.
No. And I said this to Bruce. I said, it's better. It's good because we were talking about moving it, and we couldn't. But ultimately, it's best we play it the day it comes out, so no one can practice and get good at it.
Oh yeah.
Do we have to bring our Switches in?
No, we'll play it off one. That's got to be it, right?
Didn't they do a thing where you connect them and stuff?
So
We
we
could.
probably can't do any games like that unless we figure out some way to like get an overhead cam that we can cut to.
Yeah.
Which maybe Omar, we could talk about that.
I can totally do that.
I know you can.
He's really excited.
I know you can. I want I have learned over my years and failures of overreaching.
How are you going to do it with one Switch?
You would have to have multiple Switches. So kind of like what
Right.
I was saying. And then Goofy ass, you're asking about News House in the chat. It's coming along. We're
Working on it.
trying to reach an agreement about how to distribute the show. So conversations are ongoing. There was progress being made. But there's a lot of particulars we're trying to figure out.
It's also a timely show, so we have to get a lot of stuff figured out before it's recorded. Otherwise, sure, we could record and bank episodes, but then
Oh my god.
Yeah, they won't mean anything.
the news is gone.
Sorry. Also, the watch of Shenmue the movie.
Yeah.
You guys riffing on Shenmue the movie is this Friday as well on YouTube.
Before the drug stream?
It goes up at, I think, 2 p.m., I believe, or noon.
Oh, okay. So it's going live as a video.
Yeah, it's a video. It's
okay.
pre-recorded. It's not a live watch party or anything. But yeah, you and Bruce and James watching Shenmue the movie, riffing on it in its entirety, is going on YouTube. It'll be on Rooster Teeth as well.
I believe it was like an official DVD of Shenmue the movie.
Yeah.
They distributed it with a sequel, wisely assuming that many people didn't finish the first game.
So weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Shenmue 2 is even weirder. I
some
hope that
weird-
you guys get to the end of that someday. There's magic.
I mean, there's a little bit of magic in all of us,
That's true,
but especially Shenmue.
provided you don't listen to that one editorial. People are asking when for the drunk gameplay. We usually shoot for 2, but 3 is probably a more safe bet, but that's the idea. That's the goal. We'll be tweeting it out on the day of. So if you're just awake anywhere from 2 to 4 Pacific, PDT, I think we're in right now. Just keep an eye on the Twitter account. We'll give updates there.
We have anything planned to play afterwards?
Not at
Just
the moment.
replay Mario Party.
Just Mario Party until the sun goes
I
down.
will not be here, but I will be on Kind of
Yeah.
Funny Games Daily that day.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Give a thumbs up too.
My liver's like, have fun. Fly safe. Take me with you.
But yeah,
Shut up, Livy.
I guess that's your updates from the Funhaus Averse this weekend or this week. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching live, stay tuned for the post show. If not, thank you so much. Look forward to spending another hour and a half with you next week. Till then, goodbye.
Bye. They should have done that.
So they should at least should have. Was it 300 people? Should have told the 300 people, well, we may not be able to pay you in 3 months. You know.
I feel like, again, it's all part of the deception, though, too, because if they're going to Netflix,
Yeah.
and they're trying to pick up big Netflix properties and go to these big